everybody, and welcome back to the Jurassic Collectibles YouTube channel. You are joining me, Tom Jurassic, here today, and today we are taking a look at what, apart from the Brachiosaurus, is arguably the flagship item for Mattel's 2019 Summer Jurassic World Dino Rivals assortment. So this is, of course, the Destroy and Devour Indominus Rex. So if we take a quick look at the figure in the packaging, I'm just going to zoom us in down here, brighten that up a little bit for you guys. You can see, if I focus on that and do that, we have got the beautiful Dino Rivals branding, this time with the Indominus as well as the T-Rex. We have got Owen Grady there, Destroy and Devour Indominus Rex, Dino Destructor Monsieur et Attack. I don't think I pronounced that properly, but there you go. We have then, if I bring it around a little bit further, got the 3 different play features. So you can see you can press one button to get it to swing its arms and attack. You can press another button to get it to roar and chomp. And you can also then get it to swallow its prey, and its neck will light up, as you can see there. Moving up, you can see we've got the logo, which indicates that this figure has got some light and sound, some sound play features. If we take a closer look at that head sculpt, you can see even in the box, it looks absolutely beautiful. That really nice red eye, the kind of extra shadowing and texturing all around the snout, the eyes, and the really nice pebbled skin. Moving further along, we've got the quills on the neck, which look perfect. A little bit hard to focus on them in the box, as you can see, but nice texturing throughout. Then coming down, we have got those nice arms. Continuing along the figure, again, lots of nice detail in the body, and you can see we've got the buttons pointed out. Goes all the way through to the tail, which then goes up the back of the box as seen there. The Jurassic World logo, and a nice little demonstration of some of the dinosaurs' action features. So if we zoom this back out, if we take that brightness down a little bit for you guys and just refocus on the Indominus, you can see really big imposing box, around the size of the Bite and Fight Rex box. And if we now twist it around, you can see that on the back of the box we have got Owen and Blue versus the Indominus. If I zoom in to take a better look at that for you guys, you can see it looks great on the back of the box, really nice detail. Some of the other attack packs in the bottom corner, the collectible card inside, Blue, and then again all of the play features just highlighted here as well. So there is some additional branding on the sides of the box. It's going to be a bit hard to show you on camera here, so I will just swivel it round to one side for you to kind of see that on both sides of the box we do also have this absolutely lovely Jurassic World logo, which is prevalent throughout all the boxes. And then on the base we do have this nice, really easy to use area where we can pinch open the box, unscrew the figure's feet, and get it out of the box quite easily without doing any damage to the box. So I do like that they add those to these big figures, and if I just twist it back up, you can see that this is one very imposing addition to the Jurassic World line. So I'm really excited to get in this. So without any further ado guys, we will crack this thing open. Okay, so here we have got the Mattel Indominus Rex out of the packaging, and you can see that this is one very intimidating toy. It is absolutely huge. It is taking up most of my review space here, so it's going to be interesting taking a look at this one. You can see, just bringing my hand in for scale, this is one really ginormous dinosaur. So we'll start with the head and we will work our way down. If I just bring that in and take us in a little bit closer and just brighten this thing up so you guys can see all the detail here. You can see It's maybe a little bit too bright. There we go. Some really, really beautiful detail in the head of the Indominus. So we have got the red eye with the slightly darker pupil, as you can see there. And we have got some really, really nice texturing throughout this figure, especially on the head. You can see all of the really, really incredible textured work here, which truly does look remarkable. It looks really, really fantastic. You can see the teeth kind of come together at a crooked angle like they do in the film, and they're this nice yellow colour. They've got a little bit of sharpness to them. We've got these really, really nice nostrils here, which add some really great detail to the figure. And if I elevate us a little bit, you can see that we actually have got a ton of texturing coming up the front of the figure. If I can get us to focus on that, there we go. You can see that this actually elevates itself up really, really nicely towards the horns on top of the Indominus, which are a little bit similar to a Carnotaurus. So really, really nice detail in the head here. And if we just zoom out and take a look at the head overall, you can see that the shape of this for the Indominus Rex really is spot on. They really have kind of captured the overall look of the figure itself. Now, one of the play features which we'll take a look at later does enable you to open up the mouth, and if we take a look at that mouth inside there, you can see some really, really great kind of pink detailing, especially on the gums on the side there. That really does look fantastic. Now, there is another play feature here, which we will highlight a little bit later, but just looking at that side profile with the jaws open, you can see it really, really does capture the look of the Indominus. Now, if we bring the figure along a little bit, you can see again, obviously the fantastic detail continues down in the neck with the quills on the back of the neck just here. And then moving into the back of the figure as well, you can see, and I'm not sure how well this will show up on camera, maybe if I zoom out a little bit more, there we go, you can see it more. There's actually two tones of colour here. So we have the kind of very, very light grey, almost white colour that's used for the main body of the Indominus. And we have these darker highlights up here where all of the bumps and all of the other elements on the Indominus are. So they look really, really good. There's, again, a lot of fantastic texturing on show throughout this figure. Whoever sculpted this really did a fantastic job. I imagine they would have been using the ILM assets at getting this to look as close to the actual thing as they could. So that all looks great. And as we come down towards the arms here, you can see these are massive, incredibly muscular arms that the Indominus had. We'll focus on those for you. You can see that these really, really are cool. We've got some quill details here, lots of texturing, especially around the shoulder, and some really, really great detail on the hands, which if I just zoom in and take a look at that for you, we will get that in focus. You can see that looks absolutely phenomenal. There's so much in the way of just texture and attention to detail with this figure that I really am impressed with it. It definitely feels like one of the more detailed figures that we have seen in the line so far, and I wouldn't expect anything less for one of the namesakes of the current Jurassic World franchise. Now, as we head across and take a look at the legs on the figure, you can see that the sculpting continues, and we have this fantastic matte black colour used for the claws on the toes here, which looks absolutely fantastic. You've then got the sculpting here, which uses the same layered effect to go up into the ankle joint, and at the ankle joint itself you have this really, really nice fold here, which kind of gives you the sense of movement that this joint would have. Now, as we come up the figure's body, we zoom out a little bit more, you can see the legs here, and they are incredibly muscular in their nature, which is really, really cool. I really, really like how much detail there is here in particular, but also you can see some slight folded details in here, lots of folds around the knee joint to really make this figure look fantastic. And as we continue along towards the back of the figure, you can see a slight speaker there where some audio comes through. But if I position it more there so we can take a better look, you can see the tail here as well. Now the tail does curve at the top, as you can see here if I brighten that up a little bit for you. You can see that that curves at the top there and does come all the way down into the figure like so. Now that great texturing continues throughout the bottom of the figure and also on the top, and if we twist it onto its side and take a look at the figure's underbelly, we can see that whilst it is a similar shade to the rest of the figure, if we just focus on that, you can see, there we go, that there is still some really, really great texturing here. So that really is all of the detail on the figure. It is of course part of the Dino Facts app. So if we zoom in, you can see just here is where the Facts app is located. And it does, as per all the other dinosaurs, also have the Jurassic World logo on its foot, letting you know that this is an authentic Jurassic World toy. So that has kind of, if we bring that exposure right down and bring this out a bit, being a look at the Mattel Indominus. We're now going to take a look at its articulation and then also its play features. Okay, so starting off with the head, you can see that it can go up and down, but it will not hold these poses unless you put something in place to help it do that. So you can see we can angle it down, but it springs back up to this position, and it does not have a swivel at all. Now, you can also open the jaws, but again, these will snap back down unless you use something to jam them, and this is because of one of the play features. Now, as we move down to the arms, which you can see here, we do again get very, very similar articulation here. So you'll see if we just focus on this particular arm, we do have a ball joint here that we can use to bring the arms up and down, and we can also move the arms around using this joint here. So we do get quite a good level of articulation from these overall. We are able to get some interesting poses. You know, you can have the Indominus scooping up some characters, but this articulation is again tied into one of the play features. Now as we move further along the figure to the legs, I'm going to zoom us out for this little look. So you can see there we have got the figure positioned like that, and the legs do move together. So if I move one, I can then move the other one like so, and they will move together. You can see that they don't really hold the weight of the figure, unfortunately. So if I try that again, maybe just move them a little bit higher up, you can see that there we go, depending on the centre of gravity with the figure, you will be able to pose it in different ways. And you can see when posed like that, it is far too big, even if I turn the brightness down, to be fully featured on camera. So you can get some interesting poses. It does feel like the legs move together, but you can split them and move them differently. I just personally would not recommend that, because when you have a play feature which is designed for the legs to move together, moving them independently can be damaging. Now we can also swivel the ankle joints here, but we do have a piece of sculpting which is designed to line up here. So you can see I've not done that quite properly, but if I zoom in down there, you can see this piece is designed to line up, so like that. So you can swivel the ankles to get different points of articulation, but if you are just displaying this figure, then you're going to want to keep them lined up. And as we bring it back out and take a quick look at the tail, you can see the tail is one solid piece, so no articulation in the tail either. But that all said, overall, the articulation is pretty good with this toy, and I do think that you will be able to get the Indominus Rex into some interesting poses if you have a play with the articulation that's there. I could particularly see this picking up human characters off of shelves, so really, really cool levels of articulation here. Now we'll jump in and take a look at those aforementioned play features as well. Okay, so like many of the recent toys to join the Jurassic World line, particularly the Dual Attacks, the Indominus has got two features built into it. So you can see that this button here, which is on the dinosaur's back, fits in really nicely, and when pressed will cause the dinosaur to do some actions with its hands. So the second button, found masked really nicely again, as you can see here in the dinosaur's tail, will allow it to do a roaring action. Now there are two versions of this action, one of which will be a normal roar, and one of which will light up the dinosaur's throat so it can swallow a human or smaller dinosaur. And the idea here is that when we get that longer roar, the Indominus can eat a character like Owen. So if we just bring that back around, I'll bring the Indominus down, we'll bring the camera down for a second and take a closer look at that. You can see, if I now focus on the Indominus, when I open up the mouth, there is a long throat section in there that the figure just sits within. So really, really nice addition, which will allow children to actually be able to get this dinosaur to swallow humans, which is really, really cool. It's something that not many of the dinosaurs have been able to do so far, so I think that this is going to be a hit with both collectors and children of all ages. And like with all the other figures in the Dino Rivals line, we do get a Dino Facts card, as you can see here for the Indominus. Nice render, interesting level of abilities, pretty much all maxed out apart from, I would assume, its speed. So a very, very hyper-lethal dinosaur. And we do get the continued Dino Rivals Jurassic World branding on the back. So if I just refocus us on that, nice to see Mattel committing to continuing this line throughout 2019. Okay, so bringing in some other figures from the Mattel line for a comparison, you can see Owen is absolutely dwarfed by the Indominus. The Indominus is massive when you compare it to Owen. If we bring in the battle damaged version of Blue, you can see still absolutely dwarfed by the Indominus Rex. And if we bring in the Bite and Fight T-Rex, you can see that even that T-Rex, which was a massive toy, is still dwarfed by the Indominus. So this is by far one of the largest toys to be added to the Mattel assortment, but it's a really, really cool toy, and it's definitely in scale, which is nice to see. You know, they went all out, put it in scale, and the result is phenomenal. So that has been your look at the Mattel Destroy and Devour Indominus Rex. So this figure retails for £45 here in the UK, and for that retail price, I think you get a really, really cool dinosaur. This dinosaur is synonymous with the Jurassic World franchise. Obviously, it is the main adversary in the first Jurassic World film, and I think that it is immortalised by Mattel's team here to perfection. This figure is so much better than the Hasbro figure, which was available in 2015. I never bought that because I didn't like the look of it, but I can just see a lot of definite innovation here in terms of design and quality. The figure is really, really well scaled with the rest of the line, and it's definitely something that if you are a fan of Jurassic World, I think you will really enjoy. That all said and done, guys, I really hope you've enjoyed this review. Stay tuned for more reviews here on Jurassic Collectibles in the near future, and as always, guys, have a great week.